welcome to the Meeple Mentor review of Arraial. I'm Jared, and with me is Holly. We're going to discuss quickly here our thoughts on Arraial. This is by Pandasaurus, or from Pandasaurus Games, designed by... there it is.
MEBO?
Nuno, Bizarro, Sentieiro, Paulo, Soledade, and art by Nuno Saraiva. So this is actually a themed game of Portuguese parties in the streets and things like that. It's some kind of festival that I am unaware of as a person who doesn't live in Portugal. But
Fair.
I mean, but the theme, after you understand what that is, that's all you get. Like, at that point, it doesn't matter. Essentially, what you have is a polyomino placement game of rotation and dropping into your path, which is
much in the vein of Tetris.
Which is just like the constraints and size and scope of a Tetris game. So this plays 2 to 4 people, and they are sitting completely across from one another with a kind of a wheel in the middle, and this wheel holds 3 shape cards at a time, and the orientation of the shapes come out based on where the dot is on the card, and it matches the dot on wherever the circle is. But the circle is a wheel that you can rotate only clockwise. But rotating these, of course, certainly changes their orientation of how it points to you. And so if I rotate it once, it's going to rotate 90 degrees and be facing me a certain position. But now the person to my left, it's going to be facing a different position based on how they're looking at it. Mm-hmm. And that's a really important part of how this game plays out in a multiplayer scenario here. You're going to want to arrange it so that it's in a correct orientation for you to align it as much as you can to fill as much space as you can in your street board. Whereas you also want to try to leave the rotation such that the next player has to spend some of their turns, getting it to a better spot. You only get 3 actions on a turn. Mm-hmm. And so you can rotate or place a tile. And those are the 2 possible actions. In the early part of the game, you only have to place 1 tile. So you don't have to use all those actions. But in the last phase of the game, and there's 3 phases, mm-hmm. you have to place 2 tiles. Or 2 polyominoes. And that's really where the competition really ranks up here, or rises, because you're talking, you've got a board that's nearly full, and you have to place 2 every turn, or you're out, and you're done. And then you'll do final scoring. But what are some of your thoughts?
Well, it's basically Tetris on a board, and I'm all about Tetris. I have been ever since I was like 5.
Since it came out on the Game Boy.
I love Tetris. So this is really great for me. It's really nice that you can earn little meeples to increase your score once you fill in a line, mm-hmm. And that you can move your border up to provide more room mm-hmm. if you fill a line. Mm-hmm. I really like the colors, mm-hmm. too.
Very bright pieces.
You know me. I love anything with polyominoes. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is. It's just that puzzle connecting in my brain. I love it.
Yeah, each piece, not only is it color-coded, but they've got artwork for different dancers, mm-hmm. On them. Not that it affects the gameplay, but it's fun, because you do remember, like, okay, these guys are all dancing in the streets, and this guy's doing a splits, and this guy's playing the drums and that kind of stuff. As you can see, it gets a little crazy just from the box art on the cover.
I like the strategy that you have to do. It's not a heavy saturated strategy, but you do have to pay attention to the orientation of the polyominoes mm-hmm. as they're coming at you, and mm-hmm. make plans for where you think that might go if mm-hmm. the other person doesn't take it, other people don't take them, mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can only choose from 3 at a time, and once someone takes that, the card goes away, and then a new one populates, and if someone took 2, then 2 come out, and then you look at something completely different by the time it comes back to you. So I think the competition really escalates the more people that are playing. So if you're playing 3 or 4 players, it's going to be much tougher to get a high score.
I'm still trying to get more than 2 players to the table, so.
Yeah, this is a really fun game, though. If you are a fan of polyomino games or really like Tetris, this is the game to play at the table. I mean, this is, I think, more so than any other polyomino game. If you're looking for that feel of playing Tetris against, in a competitive environment against other players simultaneously in a fun tabletop way, Arraial, you can't get better than that.
Definitely.
I mean, this is really the best version of that kind of gameplay that you're going to want to play. It's simple enough rules to understand and teach nearly anybody to play. It doesn't last too long. I'd say maybe 45-minute game or less.
Yeah, it's not very...
Or less.
Yeah, it wasn't really long.
I mean, it's bright, it's colorful. I mean, you can't go wrong. Like, it's not simple because it is like simple rules, but strategy is tough. And of course, Tetris is Tetris. Like putting the tiles in the right place and not leaving too many holes, that's also part of the game. So again, that kind of gameplay is great. You can't go wrong with that kind of thing. So I'm always going to keep this in my game collection because you can actually, I believe you can solo this game and just kind of go for high scores and stuff.
Nice.
Which would be a lot of fun, but it's best for 2 to 4. Yeah, I don't know. I would recommend this.
I would too. Nearly every time we have a game night, we start making the lists, and this one is one of the ones that I pitch. I'm like, Celestia and Arraial, they're great.
Yeah. If there's 4 or less people, this is what we should try. Just get it out on the table,
Those
see
are
what
my
people
2
say.
go-tos.
Everyone I've shown this game to really likes it. And people who think they're really good at Tetris.
That's fun. Don't point at me. I won.
I've had some friends that they're like, "Oh, I'm Tetris master." I'm like, "All right, let's play Arraial."
I never lord myself over anyone ever. I sit down like this is going to be a disaster.
I actually really am good at Tetris, and so I put some people in their place before.
I am good at Tetris. Oh, that's what it is. We're really good at Tetris, so we kind of went tete-a-tete.
I think that's why we both really enjoy playing this too, because we both are quite naturally good at that game.
I have to say, it's not... One thing that I love about this game is, again, it's that comprehension thing where I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, and I don't have 1,000 questions, and I can play it and have fun playing with it because I'm not worried about my strategy, and I'm not worried about being constantly lost.
Yeah. So it's very adaptable, and most people can get this to the table and play it just fine. And as soon as you say the word Tetris, people understand what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
And, just the minor tabletop tweaks to the game to make it playable, that's it. So if you have a chance to play Arraial or pick it up, definitely do. This is my definitely recommend playing this.
I think it made it in my top 20.
We'll have to talk about those numbers later then. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned on the channel for maybe some more top 10s and maybe more reviews and certainly tutorials, which is our bread and butter here on Meeple Mentor. So until the next video, I've been Jared.
I'm Holly.
I'll see you next time.
Bye.